I told my patient to cut back on drinking alcohol, and that statement led to a very interesting conversation that I think everybody should be having, not just with themselves, but with other people who they care about. So, my patient has a few health issues, and when I was giving her some advice about how to manage those health issues, the fact that she drinks alcohol came up. And so I asked her like how often she drinks it, and it became apparent that she likes like maybe like a glass of wine every night or every other night. And so I was like, is it a non-negotiable? Can you like cut back on it? And she really struggled with this because for her, she didn't drink alcohol because she wanted to like, be the life of the party or whatever. She truly likes the taste of alcohol, and she likes the experience of drinking alcohol and all of that. And I was like, okay, so let's go a little bit deeper. Like, what is the alcohol doing for you? Like, what is that experience? What does that mean? The fact that this alcohol, this one time that you drink this glass of wine, why is it so important, right? And so we went down, like we dug down into it. And I was like, whenever someone tells me that they love their whatever they're fixating on that they cannot give up, it tells me that there is something missing in another part of their life. And so they get pleasure from drinking in this case because they're missing something else, right? And so I gave the example of people eating a lot, like eating for pleasure because there's something missing, or the example of people shopping because there's something missing, or people having a lot of, pleasure, use your imagination because there's something missing. And so many different things like behaviors that we have that could be detrimental to us are a result of something being missing. And a lot of times, because we live in a very fast-paced world, we're not paying attention to the things that we're missing. So this is something that's happening on a subconscious level, right? And so when we dug down into it, like she was not happy at her job. Her job was causing a lot of stress. Her job was affecting her marriage. Her job was affecting her relationship with her kids. And so we were able to say, okay, so there is a root problem. There is something that's missing. There is something that's causing stress, and you're dealing with it in this way. You're dealing with it in finding pleasurable things that you have control over, because the thing that is bothering you is not really something you feel like you can control. So that's how that conversation went about. And it was very eye-opening for her when I broke it down that way, because she was able to see why, because we ended up talking, and I was like, you might want to consider, like, figure out if the job situation is the best thing for you, because at the end of the day, the job that she was doing seemed to be a big root of most of her problems. And so once we looked at all the different areas of her life, we figured out if the job is not there, that creates space to be a better mom. So she's not dealing with mom guilt, be a better spouse, be a better daughter, whatever. And so I was like, well, if you're able to address that thing that's causing stress in your life, you may not find that you need to drink so much. You may not find that you need to eat so much. You may not find that you need to shop so much. Whatever else that you could be using as a form of pleasure, you may not need it as much once the thing that you subconsciously needed is taken care of. Once you fix the thing that's subconsciously going on, then consciously you don't feel the need to drink anymore or to smoke or whatever else you do. So I say all of this to say it's important to pay attention to our behaviors and to understand what those behaviors mean. And again, fast-paced world, people really don't have the time, or they don't take the time to really sit down and say, is everything okay with me, right? But we really need to do that, because if we don't do that, we're gonna become a train wreck without realizing it, right? And so at the end of the day, this person ended up has issues, and the alcohol is actually tied to her health issues too, but she wasn't able to see it until we all, we brought the whole thing together. So bottom line, take account of what's going on in your life and ask yourself if the behaviors that you have or the habits that you have, if they're helping you or if they're hurting you. And pay attention, because sometimes the habits that you are using as a form of pleasure, you're doing those things to avoid or to fill a void that you may not be aware of. And so it's important to focus on bringing that lack or that void to your awareness so you can deal with it.